And the man said, well, long before we would allow any deviation from our good relationship to occur, I would simply excuse myself and go on a long walk. Hello, dear friends. Welcome from Deerfield Beach, Florida. Behind me is the beautiful beach of this city, which brings the waters of the Atlantic Ocean to us. I have filmed from here before, and many of you may recall. Today is somewhat rare because even though we have some sun shining, we also have some dark clouds, others not so dark, but a little bit of rain coming down to refresh the earth. In fact, it is a welcome reality for us who live in South Florida because we have been facing a very hot, extended time of summer beyond its normal season. But whatever it is, we are grateful for these gifts from God. I have for you today a true story, something that stayed with me for a long, long time since I first heard. It pertains to an elderly couple who are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Both of them had reached a rather advanced age at that point, but the man, even more than his wife, was extremely well built, and all of his friends and others who became aware of the age that he had already reached were fascinated with how well he looked, how youthful in many ways he still presented himself. So one of the reporters that came to his home for the celebrations, well equipped with cameras and paper and pen, had to ask him a question. He said, "Knowing of your age, we are impressed by the fact that you look so good. What is the secret that we might perhaps emulate your practice?" And the man said, "Well, my wife and I have had wonderful years, especially because when we first got married, we came to a common agreement that long before we would allow any deviation from our good relationship to occur, I would simply excuse myself and go on a long walk or practice sports or do something so as not to provide the opportunity for any unpleasant discussions to take place." So the good that you see in me, physically speaking, is the result of me living a very outdoors life. And that was very wise. He was not fleeing from dealing with issues that had to be dealt with, but he was simply putting himself away from unnecessary controversy, which would resolve absolutely nothing. Obviously, he had his moments at home. Obviously, he enjoyed fellowship with his wife and children and grandchildren inside of the walls of his house. But that did not prevent him at the right times to live an outdoors type of life. So my advice for you is to perhaps follow that example if you find yourself in a similar situation. And it will be good for your physical health, and of course good to maintain the stability that should always characterize any real marriage, real family life. So this is all that I have for you today, but very soon we shall be together again. Bye-bye.